Today, I'm going to share with you something that has the potential to change the course of your life. Well, you might say, Carol, I think you're being a little overdramatic. No, I'm not. Proverbs 16:3, which we base the 30-second prayer on, has the potential to change the course of your life. And if you will grab a hold of each one of these 12-minute segments, and if you've missed some, go back and listen to them all again and just take out the scriptures, take out the truth, and incorporate them into your own life. Because right now, they're real to me, but you have to make them real to you. And then the course of your life will be changed. So we're going to continue in our segments on simplifying our life, causing us to be more mindful, be more aware of what God is doing so that we can pare down our lives to the things that are really important and then be mindful. And that way we're going to be able to hear. And I don't mean with our ears, although it could be that way, but more often than not, it's our thoughts that direct us. And we know that from Proverbs 16:3, commit your plans to him, and he will cause your thoughts, my thoughts, to agree with his will. So we can be established and succeed. And I know you would rather succeed than fail. And what a joyful life that is. If there is a way that we can succeed in all the little decisions and all the big ones, and then we will have no regrets and we will just move forward in God. Well, we're going to simplify. And again, I'm going to give you that word picture of walking into a hotel room. There's no clutter in there. There's no clothes laying on the bed. There's no books stacked up on the desk. There's no cosmetics and shaving equipment on any of the horizontal surfaces. It is clean and only what you need. So when you're trying to pare down your own house, keep that in mind. What do you really need? So let's relate that again to our souls. First of all, in segment 26, we addressed opinions, getting rid of our opinions, because what are they worth? It's only, well, this is the way I see it. Well, how do we know that's even true? And what is it worth for you to even voice it? Or even let it form in your head and maybe not voice it, but you're sitting in a group and everybody's giving their opinions and you've got one too. But why don't we just get rid of it and make more room in our bandwidth so we can hear from God? So Psalms, and then the second one that we talked about is in episode 28, getting rid of fear. And so Psalms 55:22, New Living Translation, give your burdens to the Lord. Fear is a burden, a heavy weight that gets heavier day after day. Give your burdens to the Lord and he will take care of you. That's pretty simple, but it absolutely has the potential to change a fearful person's life. And there's all kinds of fear. There's chronic fear that maybe you've had your entire life. Maybe there's just fear of something during the day, like I'm not going to have Thanksgiving dinner already on time. That's a little bitty fear. Or I don't know what to do about this decision I need to make. That's a small fear. So fear is fear. And we know from 2 Timothy 1:7, it's not from God. We learned that in episode 28. So go back and listen to that one. Today we're going to talk about two things that go together, or they could remain separate. The first one is debt. How much stress does debt carry? A lot. If you've ever been in it, a lot or even a little, it carries tremendous stress. If you have accumulating debt and you're holding it inside, the more stress you will carry. Hoping the financial debt will go away will not make it go away. We all know that. It just gets worse. If your financial situation is holding you captive, limiting you, or maybe even suffocating you, you know that feeling, remember, you have a good Father. If you've given your heart to the Lord, you have a good Father. I mean, you have a good Father even if you haven't. But if you have, his arms are wide open. He goes, come here, daughter. Come here, son. I'm going to help you with whatever debt you're having to live under. I'll help you with that. You have a good Father. And if you come humbly before him and ask for his help, he'll show you the way out. James 1:5 in the New Living Translation says, if you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking, and he will not shame you for making too many emotional financial purchases, or getting in over your head when you wouldn't have to, or letting your debt accumulate. He's not going to list all the things you've done. He's going to say, come here. I'm going to help you. I'm not a father who shames his child. He is glad that you're coming to him. It may be humbling even to come to God, but that's where the solution is. But what do? We bottle it up. We don't want to tell anyone, and it gets bigger and bigger. We don't have to tell anyone, nobody but God, and God will help us. Then when we don't, we're worried, we feel helpless, we're harassed with shame, we're distressed and worn out and fearful. So these things all go together. But here's the good news. 1 Corinthians 10:13, now remember, make this your own. The temptations in your life are no different from what others experience. You know, the devil always tells you, you're the only jerk there is out there. You're the only one that's messed up. You're the only one. But here God is saying, we're all tempted, and we all make mistakes. But it goes on to say, and God is faithful. He will not allow the temptations to be more than you can stand. When you are tempted, he will show you the way out so that you can endure. He'll show you the way out. He'll give you the way of escape. That's our good Father. How many times do we hold it in, though, and not ask him, Father, I need your help? Come humbly before him and say, I can't do this alone. I need your help. So debt will take up space in your soul. The second one is pride. The thing about pride is, we don't recognize it because we're too busy being in it. What's in the way? Why don't we recognize our pride? It's because of our ego. We couldn't possibly be wrong. Joshua Becker, that I alluded to in the last segment, says that pride can make us defensive. When you find yourself being defensive, that's a warning sign that you might be in pride. We don't want to admit when we're wrong. We actually are deceiving ourselves. We're deceiving ourselves. But here is the truth. When we admit that we don't know it all, we experience freedom. Freedom. Don't you love it? Being prideful is a heavy load to carry. It goes right along with carrying debt and carrying fear and carrying our offenses. Pride is woven through all of those things. And the enemy of our soul absolutely loves it. Our pride gets heavier until we're ready to lay it down and walk away from it. 2 Corinthians 3:17 in the New Living Translation. For the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And the Spirit of the Lord is in our Father, in Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. And when we come to them, humble ourselves before them, then we get the wisdom we need, we follow the instructions, and we come out into freedom. That's a wonderful place to be. So let's not be prideful. Let's say, Father, not my will, but yours be done. I've messed up. I've proven I don't get it. I need your help. So when you pray the 30-second prayer in these two issues, debt and pride, you will find freedom. Here's the 30-second prayer. Father, I commit my accumulating debt to you. Accumulating. It's getting bigger on its own. Father, I commit my accumulating debt to you. Cause my thoughts to agree with your will so I know what to do. This simple prayer, when sincerely prayed from a humble heart, has the potential to change the course of your life. From worry and anxiety to the way out, which brings you freedom. And when we surrender our pride and ask God for help, the weight is lifted off of us. And that's where the peace is. So make these scriptures and these truths your own, maybe for you, and then for you to share with others.